want. Kevin, I'm going to make you just in case, because we've been having a lot of rain today, I'm going to pin you, and then I'm going to make you probably going to make, let's see if I can do it, make you the host, okay? All right, so if y'all lose me, just realize we've been having a hell of a lot of rain today, so you're the host and got you set up, so. All right, let me close out all this stuff. Hey guys, today we're back kind of getting in the groove. We got Kevin, the lead machine dude. So let's go ahead and go. All right, Kevin, it's all yours, buddy.
All right. All right. Okay. Let me share my screen. Yeah. Can you all see my screen?
Yep.
Beautiful. All right. So got Patrick, Justin. What's up, guys? All right. All right. So today we're going to go through some, I guess, one of the big problems, huge problems, and you know what agencies fail to realize is that you know, if you run an agency, right, it doesn't really matter what you're offering, whether you're offering rent and rank, right, rent and rank sites, whether you're offering leads, whether you're offering SEOs, whether you're offering website design, you know, Facebook ads, PPC, it does not matter, right? Guess what? You still need to be prospecting for clients, right? And that comes down to a few things, right? Because most of the time, there's really only a few ways to be prospecting for clients. So you can either run an ad, and in fact, I had a client who came to me and said he literally spent about $500 on PPC ads without even closing the deal. And that's easy. That's easy to do, right? So you can either run ads, you could either you know, do it organically, or you could also do what everyone else is doing, right? As you know, if you do what everyone else is doing, you're just literally going to match the results of everyone else, right? Now, so you could be cold emailing people as well, which doesn't really work. No one opens their email. Or you could pick up the phone, right? You could pick up the phone, dial each and every single number. Now, the biggest problem with that is it drains you, right? It literally drains you. And so what we're going through here is we're going through a brand new strategy, right? Brand new technique. Literally will get your phone ringing off the hook, right? And I've got so many students that have already gotten results from this. It will literally get your phone off the hook without you even making a cold call, right? You don't even need to make a cold call. And as I said, the biggest problem with making cold calls is it's a numbers game. You go through 100 numbers, you go through 200 numbers, only to get to those maybe 5 people that are interested, right? So what the system here is we're getting the 5 people or the 10 people to come to you. We're getting those to come to you without you even having to filter through those 95 people. All right, so I've got some. Make this bigger. You can hear some babies in the background. It's you, Justin. Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool.
I'm babysitting. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's all good. That's good. I've got 3 boys myself, so no, that's all good. And congratulations for the baby. Okay, so we've got a student, Mike here. So we got him set up on the system, and literally he had his phone off the hook, right? So he had 18 incoming calls coming through. As I said, we are focusing just on those people who are ready and want to speak to you, right? Without having to filter through all those unwanted people. So Mike here, we had him set up, and literally it took him 15, 30 minutes to set up. The phone literally kept ringing and ringing. He had 18 inbound calls. These are inbound calls coming through, and he converted 4 of them into a booking, all within 90 minutes. Now let me show you this. So all within 90 minutes. So you can see this is the conversation I had with him at 1 a.m. in the morning, 1:40 in the morning. So within the space of 90 minutes, he literally had 18 incoming calls coming through. Converted 4 of them into booking. Converted first one into a $1,500 sale right here, and he converted 2 more. So he converted 3 into deals. He actually closed the deals within his very first week. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this. He literally tried everything. He literally tried everything for the last 6 months. No sale at all. He came on this system and he literally closed 3 deals in the first week. Sorry, I don't even know how to get rid of my chat screen, so I'm keeping moving out of the way. Okay, so this is for another couple of our students, for Tyler and Dustin here. We got them 32 opportunities, right? 32 opportunities within 48 hours. Now, again, no cold calling. The lead cost is virtually free. And these are people who are interested. These are people who are interested in speaking to you. These are people who want a call back from you. And we literally have deals in progress right now just from this program. Also, we've got Stan here. He literally closed his very first deal he's got first paying client of the IVR system. I'll go through exactly what that means. And just very quickly, Baptist, he closed a sale. He's a completely new agency based in France, closed his first sale in the first week. And we also got Michael here. He's based in the UK, got him 20 inquiries, all within 24 hours. So, so the question I have for you guys, look, when was the last time you had 18 incoming calls? Excuse me. 18 incoming calls coming through, all wanting more information. And for most agencies, I mean, having incoming inquiries is gold, right? And we're talking 18 incoming inquiries, all within 90 minutes. Now, what does it even take you to do 4 bookings? I know for most agencies, getting to do even just 1 booking a week, I mean, that's huge. That's huge for most agencies, right? And what it would take you to even close 1 sale, right? 1 sale. So what I'm going through here, guys, is a brand new strategy. No other agencies using it. In Williams' class here, it's one of the first times that I'm introducing this brand new strategy. So I only started introducing this in Williams' classes. So it doesn't involve any cold calling, and pretty much works with any industry. So whether you're in contractor, whether you're in home services, whether you're in dental, restaurant, it doesn't really matter, as long as they are searchable on Google My Business. So firstly, guys, what I'll get you to do is to text this number and text demo. So Justin, I know you've got a bit of a hands full there, but if you want to see how this works, grab your phone, text this number and text demo to this number, and you'll see exactly how this works. So just give everyone a minute or so. All right. So if you have text the number, if you have text this number, you should have got a call. So you should have got a call, and the call. What's up? What's up, Kev?
Hey man, how's it?
Hey, I see you got some auroras behind you.
What? Oh yeah, of course. Oh, with my Zoom link. I'm like in the magical world here. What are we doing today, man? How come I'm seeing your beautiful face?
Dude, as I said, look, whether it doesn't really matter. Like with agencies, it doesn't really matter what you do, right? It all comes down to prospecting. That's a fundamental. Like it's literally a fundamental of most agencies. I mean, it could be. It's funny. Like I was speaking to just Jason the other day, right? Obviously, Jason here is doing the Rent course, and what people fail to realize is, most people say, look, I can just get, I'll just get my site ranked. I'll have all these leads coming through. But how do you sell these leads? How do you actually sell them? You still need to sell them. You still need to sell your services, whether you want to rank them, whether you want to sell them, whether you want to offer a website service. You still got to sell them. And that comes down to prospecting, right? So again, guys, if you have text this number, you should receive a call like this. And so the call is basically what we do for our outreach. So for our outreach, instead of you picking up the phone and going through and calling each and every one, we are getting a system in place. So we're getting a system in place and having a sequence so that you don't have to make the call, right? You don't have to actually make the call, so that the system will actually do it for you. Now, when you do this, the system will blast out a call automatically. And when they push an action, they push 1, they push 2, they push 3, the call will automatically come to you. It will automatically be transferred to you. And that is a live transfer, right? That is a live transfer lead that you usually have to try and sell on the phone. You usually have to try and go through 100 calls, 200 calls, 300 calls just to get to those 5 people, right? And we are having a system to actually in place to actually do that for you. All right. So some of the automation that should be triggered when you blast out when you send that SMS. You should have a SMS reply. So you should receive an SMS reply. Then you would have got a call, and this call is called an IVR. And I'll go through exactly what that actually means. You will add it to a list. When you press 1, you would be moved to another list, right? You'll be moved to another list, and you will be sent an SMS with a calendar link. Now, what I might do is I might actually do a demo here so that you can actually hear the call going out. All right. So I've just text demo to this number, and I'll show you exactly how that actually works. So I just got a call. And if I pick up, so imagine this.
Hey, I was just searching for your company's Google My Business.
Imagine this.
I notice you're nowhere to be found on the very first page of your category.
The outreach
and what
call.
that means is you're actually losing out on sales over your competitors, as your customers won't be able to find you. Hi, my name is Kevin Sy from the GNB Help Group. We're the largest and fastest growing SEO group in the world. I'm actually just ringing around your area today to see if you have extra capacity to handle another 15 customers per month. And we specialize in helping companies like you to get to the very first page of Google My Business listings and help deliver up to 30 new customers on average for our clients each month. Now, for this month only, we are offering a free SEO audit, which we normally charge $300. But this will strictly be on a first come, first served basis, as we only have a few spots left on our calendar. So if you'd like to get this offer, please press 1 to speak to one of our staff to secure your booking, or press 2 if this month.
All right. So I'm sure you guys can probably all hear that. So if you had pressed 1 there, the call will be directly transferred to me. And imagine this was your prospects, right? This was your prospects, and the call will come directly to you without you even have to do the work. Now, so an IVR sequence looks like this. And for those of you that actually have heard of IVRs, IVRs stands for interactive voice response. So you probably haven't, so you would have experienced it, for example, if you actually call up your bank and, for example, the bank, you don't get directly to a staff, right? You don't get directly to a staff, you go directly to a qualifying voice menu. So this qualifies your prospects so that when they take particular actions, you are then directed to the right department. So, for example, they press 1. You can send them an SMS. You can add them add them to a list. You could add it to a Zap, for example, add it to your calendar. Send them an email, and do a lot of cool things, right? Hang on. So IVRs traditionally used for banks, larger corporations. Oh, sorry. You could also use this for all your lead forms, right? For example, for those of you that run some lead gen sites, you could be using this. You could be using this so that every lead that comes through, they would get a call straight away. So imagine that, right? Imagine, so instead of you follow up with them, maybe like 24 hours later, they will get a phone call each and every time they come through. And the phone call could go, hey, I noticed you just you just opted into my training, or thanks for downloading my ebook or my lead magnet. And my name is such and such. Let me just ask you a few questions, right? Let me just ask you a few questions, and you can actually go through a series of questions. Make sure they actually qualify for what you excuse me, what you are actually after. We are also using this for our outreach. So I call this outreach IVR. Handles pretty much all your cold calling, qualifies your prospects, and the more you qualify them, the better it is. So you can make them an offer, get them to act. Excuse me. Now, Logan here, guys, he's a client. He basically says it's a badass call center, right? So if you imagine this, like he and his business partner, they are blasting out, no shit, like they are blasting out like 2,000 calls a day, just from two people, right? Now, so how many sales callers? Like, so I was speaking to a client the other day, right? And he was literally about to hire someone to make cold calls. Now, as soon as he saw this, he's like, wow, this blows my mind, because I could literally blast out 1,000 calls. I could literally blast out 1,000 calls within a few clicks. And usually to do that, you would need, say, one caller at $200 a day, 10 callers, that's $2,000 a day, right? You would need to hire cold callers to actually make 1,000 calls for you. I can do that within a few clicks. It doesn't take me any time at all. Now, the cost of the call is literally virtually zero. It's very, very minimal. It's something like, it goes through Twilio, and Twilio costs something like 0.0004 cents a minute. So it's pretty much negligible. So you can literally run entire call center, and you control how many inquiries you want. right? For example, if you blast out, it's a numbers game. If you blast out 100 calls and you get to 5 people, right? Now, if you want more calls, you just blast out another 100. You should get 10 inquiries. If you want more calls, you blast out another 500 calls, and technically you should have 25 inquiries, right? So it's a numbers game, and you control how many inquiries you want coming through. Does that make sense, guys? Making sense?
Makes sense to me.
All right. So how it works is this. So a lot of you probably are using some sort of a lead source software, but if you're not, let me show you how you can actually scrape leads. If I could just remove this annoying menu. All right, here we go. So let's say we go to Google and we go plumbers. All right, let's go plumbers in Philadelphia. And we come here, click on view all. All right, so these are all GMB listings, right? These are all plumbers that are listed on Google as a GMB, and there is literally pages and pages and pages of these, right? So what we do here is we go literally a click, and now we are collecting these leads, right? Now we're collecting these leads. Now imagine these guys. Look, what I've done here, I mean, the leads are free. Like leads are virtually, well, I shouldn't say virtually, they are free. They are literally free leads. You know, you can just search for any niche, any city, type it in, click a button, and we can download all these leads for free, right? Literally for free. I stopped scraping. I start this, and you can see, right? That took us like 10 seconds, right? So all these numbers, street address, city, state, zip, website, etc. And all we really need is the phone numbers, right? We need these phone numbers, and we just feed them through the system. So we feed it through a system, and you can pre-record. You can have pre-recorded sequences to qualify your prospects. And if they're interested, they press 1, they press 2, they press 3, and the call will be live transferred to you, right? Guys, I'm telling you, for your prospecting efforts, it doesn't get easier than this. Like literally, it does not get easier than this, right? As I said, you really only have a few options. You can do it organically on Facebook, on Instagram. You can run an ad if you have if you have some deep pockets. You can run ads. Now, problem with ads, obviously, the more leads you want, the more you have to spend, right? It's on a ascending scale, right? So you want 100 leads, you got to pay for it. The more leads you want, you got to pay for it. Now, with this, your leads are virtually free, right? You just feed it through the system, and it qualifies them and come to you. You don't have to physically make those 95 calls to get to those 5 people. Okay. Now, there is actually a lot of data here, right? Because, for example, you could be targeting, the people with, less than 100 reviews, for example, right? So you could filter this out. And maybe you just want to target the people who have, less than 100 reviews, or maybe who have, less than 4 less than a rating of 4, for example, right? You could be targeting these people, and in your message, you could be like, hey, just like what I've got, you could be going through and touch them. You could be going through and literally touch them where it hurts them the most, right? You can point out that, hey, did you know you've only got, less than 10 reviews, right? Hey, did you know you've only got, less than 4.0 for your reviews? And what that means is you are losing out on sales because your competitor has greater review counts, has better ratings than you, right? So once you scrape those and it's still going, what you do then is you import that into our IVR system. Let me show you what that actually looks like. Oh, hang on. Now, who has like millions of passwords? Can't even log into their password vaults. Ah, bloody hell. All right, anyway. All right, here we go. All right, so this is a dashboard of an account that we manage for some of our clients. So you can see we've made look at this. We've made 2,600 calls. Now these are calls that we did not physically have to make. Like we did not even have to pick up the phone to actually call each and every one of these people. Right? There's no calls that was actually made. So if I show you right here, so in the example I went through earlier, so this was the 32 opportunities that we got for Tyler and Dustin, right? So literally what we did was we pre-recorded a few sequences, I should say, and this qualifies them at each and every single step. So if I come here, say for Dustin. So IVR looks something like this, right? It can be as simple or as complex as you want to make it, and literally, so the initial message that comes through. Now, by the way, I noticed there's a few students that have just joined us. So Justin, for example, if you have no idea what we're talking about, I'll just get you to text this number. 213-263-5799 and text the keyword demo. So if you do that, you'll see exactly what we're going through here.
Hey, I was just searching for your company's Google My Business listings. Now, I noticed you're nowhere to be found on the very first page.
So listen to that message. So imagine that that's a call that your prospect actually receives. Now, this is a call you don't have to make physically. So you are literally just pre-recording a sequence and blasting out these calls. So which means you now have access to a pretty much a call center. So listen to that message and I'll get you to press 1 when you hear the prompt. All right, so if you have listened to the message, if you press 1, the call should come to me, right? So in this example, a sample message, so a message goes out initially, and then when it comes through, the prospect, so Mr. Prospect, so we are blasting out these calls, right? So we're just scraping, right? So we are scraping, say, plumbers in Philadelphia. We are putting them, so we scrape these leads and then we're putting it through a system like this. We're putting through a system like this, and they get the initial phone call with the initial message. When they press 1, what we want to do is we want to put them in an interested list. So we want to put them in an interested list. Then we want to unsubscribe them from a campaign. Yeah, campaign basically means a series of steps or series of actions that you want the system to automatically follow up with, right? So let's go through and you'll be able to see. For example, we grab that list you have just scraped. We put it through a system, so we put it through a campaign, and the campaign could be as simple as or as complex as you want. So it could be an IVR call, and then follow up with another IVR call if they don't pick up or if they don't take any action, right? So IVR, say IVR, and maybe you could send them an email, and then maybe you could follow up with another call. And the whole point of this is we want to force them to take an action, right? We want to force them to take an action, whether it's 1 or 2 or 3. When they press 1, calls get transferred. When they press 2, we give them the opportunity to actually opt out. So they can opt out at any time. And 3, if they want to call back, right? Again, for a callback, we put them through a voicemail, which the system records every single call that comes in and goes out, right? So right here on the top, this is a voicemail. So you can come here and listen to all your voicemail recordings. So unsubscribe on the campaign, add to a pipeline. So a pipeline looks like this. So all these leads you see here, and these has now become an opportunity, right? All these opportunities that you see here are live transferred calls, right? Live transferred calls, and these are calls that you don't have to make. You don't have to make, and it's literally coming through to you automatically. So callback, people who have said they wanted a callback. So they've left a voicemail. So maybe they are people who are interested, but they just need to speak to their general manager, or you should be speaking to their marketing department, and they will leave voicemails, as you can see here, and that's gold, right? Because that will tell you exactly who you need to be speaking to. Now, just from this, we got Tyler. So Tyler has 3 deals in progress just from these calls. So these are calls that he did not have to actually make. So you can see right here, he had an 8-minute call, so 8.5-minute call. So call was all recorded. If we click on this one, you could see that he had another 9-minute call, right? And if I click on this one, he had another 8.5-minute call. Now, these are all calls, and these are all the people he had never, ever spoken to before. These are completely cold leads, right? So we have just literally put them through the system, and the people who have put their hands up and said, hey, tell me more information, they are now coming through to you automatically, right? Because as I said, usually you would have to dial 100 numbers or 200 numbers just to get to those maybe 5, maybe 10 people that are interested. So what we're doing here is we're getting those 5 or 10 people to come to us without making those 95 calls. Does that make sense? All right, so campaigns, IVRs, voicemail, right? So this is the place you can actually see all the voicemails that are coming through. So every single voicemail that comes through will be recorded. You can see exactly from who, what date, and you can listen to any of these recordings. All right, so everything's recorded in the system. Now, in terms of lists, so you can import your leads that you have just scraped for free. Import them into a list that you can create very easily, and you just need to move them into different campaigns, and literally leads coming in, and on the other side you'll get live hot prospects that actually want to speak to you. All right. Simpo Pro. All right. So how many sales callers would you need to make 1,000 calls? All right, here we go. So I've gone through, so first step is to scrape leads. Then secondly, leads get imported within a click into our IVR system. Step 3, depending on the actions that prospect actually take, automation will be triggered, and then call will be connected to us. Now, the big key difference, well, actually, there's quite a few key difference between this and doing a cold call. Firstly, it saves you time, right? It saves you a lot of time. But secondly, you now have the upper edge against your prospects, because they are the one that's requesting information. They are the one that's coming to you and saying, hey, tell me more, right? Tell me more information. So it's almost like running a Facebook ad, right? When you run an ad, that's exactly what you're getting people to do. You're getting them to take action, to click on your ad, right? Now, when they click on an ad, they suddenly become a prospect because they've taken action. And that's exactly what we're getting them to do here. We're getting them to click a button. So we're getting them to push 1, push 2, push 3. And as soon as they do, they become our qualified prospects, right? And we are doing this automatically, right? We're doing this automatically, literally within a few clicks, and getting them to come to us, right, guys? Look, I'm telling you, it does not get easier than this. Leads come through, and leads are free. You scrape these leads, imports them into our IVR system, and then it comes out, qualifies them, and what comes out on the outside are people who want to speak to you. All right, so no more lead problems. So we've gone through the system, and let's see if there's some questions before I get into some best practices and strategies. All right. Patrick, the script is good. All right, awesome. Look, that is just a sample, right? There's so many different variations. There's so many different approaches. Like, for example, just give you an example, right, guys? Give you an example. You could be calling up, and the main thing is, with your approach, you should not sound like a telemarketer, right? Because they get telemarketer calls every single day, and you don't want to be just like a telemarketer. You don't want to be a sales call. And this shouldn't be a sales call, right? This should be a call that comes through so that you can actually book them on a demo call. Does that make sense? This should be a call for you to book a strategy call, right? And for a chance for them to express some interest and for you to qualify them as well, right? So, for example, you could be like, so going back to our example here with the plumbers, for example, well, it's actually still scraping. By the way, Justin, you're asking scrape extension. This is called unlimited business leads. And look, I actually give this away as a bonus. So I'll get to that. It's called unlimited business leads. So for example, you could get onto, for example, plumbers, and as I said, be creative in your approach. Don't sound like a salesy call, right? You do not want to sound like a salesy call. You want to touch on the pain points that actually drives them. And you also want to touch on their most desirable results. And that should be with anything you do, right? With anything you do in marketing, it should come down to that, their pain and their desired results, right? So for example, you could be calling up plumbers and pretending your client, right? So imagine this, pretending your client, you call up and be like, hey, I'm just ringing up to get my plumbing done, for example. I'm ringing up to get my plumbing done at home. I need a shower system. I need a hot water system, for example. If you're interested, press 1, right? If you're interested in having a chat, that's press 1. Now, to these local businesses, to these GMBs, they're just getting some inquiries is gold. Like literally, it's gold, right? Especially people not on the first page. So what you can do, you can literally for example, don't focus on the first page, go to the second page. And knowing that for them, getting inquiries coming through is very few in between, right? So you could blast out these calls and be like, hey, I'm just inquiring on hot water system, for example. Press 1 if you want to have a chat. Press 2 if you're not interested, but that's fine. Look, I'll just I'll just call up another plumber, right? I'll just call up another plumber if you're not interested. Now, they would be silly not to press 1. That's the first thing. Now, when they press 1, right? When they press 1, you could say something like, hey, well, imagine having calls like this every single day, right? Imagine having calls like this every single day coming through. And this is what you can do if you are on the first page, right? This is what you can do if you are ranked in the top 3, right? This is what you can do. This is what you can expect if you, if you have a better website, if you have a better conversion, right? So whatever you're offering, what we're doing here is we are firstly touching them on the desirable results, right? So the initial message is what they desire. And this is what will move them, right? This is what will move them. This is what will drive them towards getting on a call with you. Does that make sense? All right. Jay says this shit works. Absolutely. Absolutely. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Kevin. You got not delivered message. What do you mean? What do you mean not delivered? I'll come back to you, Kev. So Justin, I assume you can connect ActiveCampaign to Chirply through Zapier. All right, so you don't even have to connect ActiveCampaign, right? You can connect through SendGrid. So SendGrid is a, so Twilio, right? So Twilio is, both Twilio and SendGrid, well, they're basically the same company. So SendGrid is owned by Twilio, and they are both, I guess you can think of it as a wholesale provider to firstly voice. So Twilio provides the voice, SMS. They are the backbone. They're literally the backbone of some of these big companies. So for example, you order something from Uber, so Uber Eats. You order something on Uber, whether it's delivery or maybe it's a transport service, and you get for example, you get a phone call or you get a SMS. That's actually done through Twilio. So you don't really hear much about them, but they are huge because they're not really a retail company. They're a wholesale company. And that's the same with SendGrid. So we can actually send email through SendGrid. So you could be using your own SMTP, but what this will do is this will literally just connect to your mail server, and you can still use your email addresses, but it will just be sent through this platform. and it's really, really cheap. Like it's something like it's free for the first 100. So literally free for the first 100 emails a day forever, right? So for most of you, that's probably enough. That's probably enough, right? All right. What if they call the number back? I called it. Yep. It was just hang. Okay. So what you would do, obviously, that's that number was a demo. Now, if you call back, you probably notice I've got a list that says call back, right? Because people do call back, right? They'll see a missed call and actually call back. So what you can do is you can actually send them to another IVR, right? So let me show you. So in a number management, so you come here. So you can actually decide what to do when the calls come through, right? When people, and they will call back, as you said, they will call back. So you can decide exactly what to do when they call back or when they send an email, SMS, right? So SMS, we can send them to another autoresponder, or we could decide to receive calls. And by the way, this is a browser dialer. So which means if I click on receive calls and you call again, I will actually receive the calls right now on this browser. I can actually pick up right here on the browser, right? So you can actually, for example, if you are working on this, you can just leave the browser open, and when the calls are coming through, you can actually pick up right there, right now, right? Obviously, you don't need to be in front of the computer. I mean, you can literally just keep working on what you're working on, right? There is no interruption. You can literally just, within a few clicks, this will blast out the calls, and when the calls come through, you can then decide what to do with it, right? Or you can direct them into another IVR. And what you can do here is, say with the incoming IVR, with the incoming calls, you could be like, hey, thanks for calling, right? Thanks for call back. Sorry, I missed your call. This is why I'm calling. So treat this as a callback, and then you could have a series of messages from those callbacks, right? Do I have tutorials on how to connect Chirply to active campaigns? Absolutely. So not really active campaigns, but as I said, SendGrid, right? So for example, if I go to settings, there is a bunch of tutorials here as well. So Twilio, email, Zapier, and look, you could literally just set up, through SendGrid, from your email address. So this is actually my email address. You can use any of your current email addresses, right? It doesn't have to be new. From, and then your password, and that's it, right? So you can connect email. You can have, so pretty much you have voice, you have SMS, you have email. You can do voicemail drops. You could do a bunch of other cool things as well. All right. So SMS did not send. It didn't send through. So you probably need to check with your carrier. I think South Africa, maybe South Africa has some sort of restriction. I'm not sure, because so yeah, you probably need to check on your carrier whether they allow international calls or international SMS or not. Now, Patrick says, do you know the delivery success rates of SendGrid emails? Look, let me show you. They are actually pretty damn good. Like, let me just log in. I'll show you. Namaste. they have one of the longest passwords. It's like 16 characters, I think. Right, look, I'll come back to you on that. If you really want to know, I can show you, and we can get on a call afterwards. I can show you once I figure out how to log in my account. I actually do have LastPass, but I just can't remember how to get in my master password vault. But anyway, I'll figure that out. So we played around with Chirply to Zapier to another email service. Look, you can. Now, what do you? So which email service are you actually after? So active campaign. So if you want to be sending, so I'll take it you want to be sending everything from active campaign. Is that correct? Okay. So what you can do here, is this. For example, in the IVRs, right here. All right. So for example, in the IVRs, at any step, right, at any given step, you can add this to a Zap. So you can add it to a Zap. So, and you can name that. And once you add that to a Zap, you could apply that to the first step. So the first step is collecting that information that you have just added. So trigger Zap. All right, let's say test. And then the second step, if you want, you can put this into active campaign, right? So you can do that if you want. Build on system using yeah, absolutely. It accomplishes pretty much the same thing. It does, absolutely. So as I said, like SendGrid, with SendGrid, excuse me, with SendGrid, you can literally use your existing email, so you don't need to change it. And all you need to do is to add a few C names. That's all you need to do. Verify the domains and add a few C names. And once it's verified, you can literally be sending through the SendGrid servers. I mean, there's really no difference, right? There's no difference. You're just sending through SendGrid. And yes, right. Some of the best strategies here. So you should be. So you know, I can't stress this enough. You know, make sure, right? Make sure you are testing these, right? You are testing these because, you know, it's like I compare this to running a Facebook ad, because you don't just run one Facebook ad and you hit a home run, right? It doesn't work like that. If you only test one approach, you know, don't assume that's the best, because most likely it's not. You don't just run one Facebook ad, and what you should do is run 5, 10, 20, 50, right? Until you find the right approach. But main thing is to understand, really, really, really understand the biggest struggles, the biggest pain points, and the biggest desirable result of your audience. And you know, most of the agency owners, and I talk to a lot. I'm like, you know, I'm saying I talk to agency owners all day, every day, right? Now, I ask them the question. It's a simple question. You know, what's the biggest struggle? What's the biggest pain point for your audience? And you know what? Most of them can't even answer that simple question. because you don't really understand your audience. You don't understand your customers. How could you actually tailor your message to make them to want to speak to you, right? So really understand your audience, test out different strategies. It could be a short message, it could be a long message. Example we had there, the initial message is long, but gave you an example of going in as a client. That could be what will make them to take action, and as I said, hit them where they most want, right? Their most desirable result. And then you could go into your solution, then go into the pain points and testimonials, etc. So segment your list, get them on the phone, make them some sort of attractive offer. When you find the best approaches, then focus on these and do minor tweaks. So Chirply, you can do obviously the autoresponder, what you SMS through. You could do two-way SMS marketing, excuse me, two-way voice, email marketing. You could have a sales bridge to connect your sales staffs. So in like a round robin style, you could do, so use this as a browser dialer, records every single call. You can do rings, voicemails, you can do a lot of other things. So different ways to make money. What you could do is you could actually use this obviously for outreach. So, getting 18 calls in 90 minutes, you control that. You now have complete control of how many calls you want coming through, right? Because literally it's a numbers game, right? So let's say you get 5 inquiries for every 100 calls. Now, if you do 200 calls, there should be 10 inquiries. If you want 100 inquiries, right, 10 times those calls. And those leads are virtually free. Well, they are free because you can just keep scraping them. You can just scrape them for each city, feed them through a system, and you literally, it's like turning on a tap, right? You can use this obviously for outbound IVR, for all your opt-in forms, lead magnets, etc. You can create also unlimited. I'm talking unlimited sub-user accounts for your clients. Could be your sales staffs, could be your appointment setters, could be your closers, right? So if you have sales staff or if you have appointment setters, you can create sub-user accounts so that when you generate these leads, when you generate these prospects, you can automatically assign them to their own specific accounts. So you can assign them to a specific account, assign this particular list or particular contacts, so they can log in and all they will see are the contact or the prospect that you have assigned them to. So as I said here, you can hire a team of appointment setters, closers, create unlimited accounts for them. You could also offer SMS marketing. So for example, if you're running, if you are looking after local businesses, right? So you could go in and help them build up a VIP list or help them build up, run competitions just by, for example, win a MacBook, right? Win a MacBook. All you need to do is text this number and with the keyword win, right? As soon as you do that, they come through to our list. They come through to our list and you can build up a VIP list, like SMS list. We're not, SMS list where you can now, where you can now SMS them at any time you want, and everyone opens their SMS, right? When was the last time you haven't actually opened an SMS? But what you can do, you can actually charge your clients for this. So, for example, if you offer SMS marketing to your clients, you can easily make $200-300 a month from every client. You do that for them, and all you need to do, go to your existing clients and actually offer them. Like, you can make money straight away. 1, 5, 10, you can easily make a couple of $1,000s just from these added on service. You can offer email marketing as well. You could actually do, blast out some IVRs for them, right? For example. So, etc. And for those of you, right, for those of you that have lead gen sites, what you could do now is you could actually use IVRs to qualify those leads. And now you could be selling live transfer leads to your clients, right? As you know, live calls, they are worth a premium. They are a premium. So you could sell them a live transfer call, and now you could charge them, three times the price for a lead that you would normally charge them for. So you could use IVR automation, and let's say, you blast out, as I said, it's a numbers game, right? It's all a numbers game. So you blast out, 200 to 500 average IVRs every single day. If you just get one booking, and you will, I guarantee you will, if you follow the strategy, follow the approaches, one booking a day, that's 7 bookings a week, right? Just convert one to a sale. You get 5 bookings a day. That's 35 bookings, 10 bookings a day, it's 70 bookings. Now, it is absolutely possible because you have complete control. As I said, you can blast out 500 calls, you can blast out 1,000 calls, you can blast out 2,000 calls if you want to, literally within a few clicks. So you control. It's like you running a call center, and you could be a one-man team, and you could still be doing 1,000 calls a day. Does that make sense? So as I said, even out of all this, you just close one sale a week for $1,500. That's awesome. That's really awesome. And for those of you, for example, if you are running ads for people, if you're doing SEOs for people, you just close one sale, and that could be a $10,000 sale because you lock them on a 6-month contract, right? That could suddenly be a $10,000 sale. You just do that, say, extra sale, say one a week or even one a month. That's huge, right? But the best part is you now also have the ability to also offer them additional services, SMS, IVR, email, because you can literally create unlimited sub-user accounts. All right, so how to get started. Let me just go here. It is literally a cup of coffee to get started, right? So let me show you. So right here, look, I'll drop the link shortly as well. So you can come through. This is exactly what we talked about. Now, a couple of things. You get a few really cool bonuses, right? So firstly, the GMB scraping tool that we just gone through, we are giving this away as a bonus, right? This is usually $9.97. If you go to the official site, it's $9.97. I'm giving this away completely for free. So which means you can scrape leads at any single time you want. So anytime you want, and for free, like literally for free. Now, secondly, I'm giving away a Go High Level account. So for those of you that know High Level, you know that High Level costs at least $97 a month, right? You can build unlimited funnels. So unlimited funnels, emails, you can do a lot of cool automations in High Level as well. So I'm actually giving away a free account to High Level. Now, thirdly, you'll get entry into our IVR Dream Team. So this is a elite team of us where we'll discuss strategies. Well, I'll go live every week, discuss different strategies, the best approaches, and you have other like-minded people who are on the system. And so I said, this is a complete new strategy. Now, if you're looking at this, if you're listening to this, you probably haven't heard of this strategy before, because I actually came up with this strategy. Now, as I said, there is only a few ways to actually prospect, but there's nothing like a system like this, right? Now, also, we will get on a call with you. This is a one-on-one. It could be a 1 hour, it could be a 2 hour call. We'll get you all set up. We will literally get you all set up, ready to go. So you are pretty much ready to go, say today, if you want, right? Tomorrow, we can help you to get this up and running. so that literally you just need to feed through some leads and change your approaches, and you are ready to go. So that's actually something we offer. So in terms of the pricing plans, as I said, literally from a cup of coffee a day. So there is monthly or annually, so monthly plan or annual plan or a lifetime plan. So monthly is literally is literally so not 197 plus 990 a day, and on the annual plan, and all these are agency plans, right? And I'll show you exactly what pricing usually looks like. So what we're looking here is the platinum plan, right? So this will give you unlimited, literally, as I said, unlimited sub users. So you're not restricted in any way at all, right? Unlimited sub users, unlimited IVRs, unlimited campaigns. This is exactly what you have to pay if you had to come here to this official site, right? So obviously this is not what we're charging here. We are literally just charging from $5.70 a day, like a cup of coffee a day, right? So monthly is basically just under $500 to get started, and every single month all you need to pay is $297, right? So you can see here, if you came here, you would have to pay $997, right, for the same exact plan. So this is only literally $297 plus $197 initially. But if you go on the yearly, this $197 is waived. So this $197 is waived, and you get 5 months for free, right? You get 5 months for free at just $197. Or you can choose to go on the lifetime, which is one-time fee, and literally you now have a call center. You now have literally a call center that you control, right? You control this call center, and you can blast out calls anytime you want, pretty much at virtually no cost. All right. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Can you set up automations and sync chat with emphasis on the call? Yes, absolutely. All right. So limited time deal. So look, this is the current offer, right? This is the current offer. So obviously we are giving away, high level, we're giving away a lot of these cool bonuses, but this is the current offer that we've got for you. And look, the offers do change from time to time, but look, if you are interested, look, more than happy to have a chat. And look, Patrick, if you're interested, look, DM me, let's have a chat. But any other questions? All right. All right. Pleasure. So if there's no more questions, look, I might end this live. Now, Patrick, if you're interested, look, as I said, DM me. Let's have a chat. And if you are keen, look, let's get you all set up, right? All right, cool. I might end this live now. If there's no more questions, you know my details, and obviously this recording will be uploaded in the back end and you can actually watch the replay as well. But I'll also make a post in the group just on this, and I'll drop the link as well. So, all right, awesome. Thanks, guys. And I think. All right. I I think Will has dropped off as well. All right, cool. All right. I'll chat to you soon.